Masjid Qiblatayn, the masjid of the two Qiblas. So they mentioned how Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa was the direction of prayer for the Muslims, for the believers, for around 17, 18 months, depending which book of Seerah you read. And during the Salah, which prayer was it? Hazrat mentioned it. Asr Ali said. Zohr namaz si. Asr da sa upar sa. वो तो तुम्हें पता क्लास को तुम नजर मारने हो ना. हाँ, वो रिवायात है, लेकिन ज़्यादातर सलातु ज़ोहर सलाह. The Zohar prayer, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam offered 2 units in the direction of Al-Masjidul Aqsa. And then Dorane Salah, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam changed the direction of prayer to the Qibla in Al-Masjidul Haram. So the first key point, which Hazrat mentioned, which I'm sharing with you now in English. You youngsters ये इतराज़ करने हो जी उर्दू बोलने की ऐसा ना समझी सकने. चलो जी ऐसा इंग्लिश भी समझाने हैं. The first key point in relation to the significance of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is that Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is the first Qibla, Qibla Awwal, Qibla meaning the direction of prayer for the Muslims. Akho Subhanallah. The first direction of prayer for the Muslims was Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Number 2, the second significant point regarding the importance of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is that it was the second masjid to be built on the face of the earth. The first, Ka'batul Sharifa, Al-Masjid Al-Haram, by Sayyiduna Adam alayhi salam, ye Bukhari Sharif ki riwayat hai. And then 40 years after the Ka'batul Sharifa was raised and Al-Masjid Al-Haram was established, Adam alayhi salam built Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. How many years after? 40 years after. So this is the second significant point regarding Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Number 3 is that Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is the third holiest place and site in the Muslim world. The first is Al-Masjid Al-Haram in Makkah Al-Mukarramah. And one prayer in Al-Masjid Al-Haram is equal to 100,000 prayers. In Al-Masjid Al-Haram or the hudud around Al-Masjid Al-Haram, the boundary, the hudud, the limit of Makkah Al-Mukarramah. One prayer in the hudud of Makkah Al-Mukarramah is equal to, in reward, to that of 100,000 prayers. This is the first significant site in the Muslim world. The second significant place in the Muslim world is Al-Madinatul Munawwara, Khas Taur Al-Masjid Al-Nabawi Sharif. Whereas this bahas between the ulama, that which is more afdal, Makkatul Mukarramah or Al-Madinatul Munawwara. Like Ibn Abidin Al-Shami and other great fuqaha, they have said and written that yes, Makkatul Mukarramah is afdal. Makkatul Mukarramah has the Ka'batul Sharifa, Al-Hajr Al-Aswad, Safa and Marwa, Mina, Arafat and Muzdalfa. Lekin that Mitti Mubarak, that blessed soil which is touching the Jism Athhar of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, that blessed soil is more afdal and a'la than the Ka'batul Sharifa. That soil is more afdal and a'la than the Arsh of Allah Almighty Jalla wa'ala. Ibn Abidin Al-Shami write this in the Fatawa. Other great Hanafi fuqaha and jurists have mentioned this. So Al-Madinatul Munawwara, one prayer in the masjid of Rasul Akram sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, again mukhtalif riwayat, is equal to 50,000 prayers. And then the third holiest site, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. One prayer in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is equal to the reward of 500 prayers. How many? Ek namaz, Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa is equal to 500. Ek namaz in Masjid Al-Ghosiyah in Telford is equal to 27. So you should make this effort. Nabi Islam himself said that the Ummati should make this effort to visit one of the three holy sites and masajid. Al-Masjidul Haram, Al-Masjidul Nabawi Sharif, and Al-Masjidul Aqsa. Kids have actually been to Palestine, to Jerusalem. Right up in the air, but chanda ta na banga. Ji, you've obviously been, mashallah, Muhtaram Haji Shakil Saab. Ajad, you've been as well? Sirf tu pure Telford vich do bande sir gave. Aur koi nahi kya hua. Nobody else has been to Palestine. But kismat ye yaar. Our youngsters, they save their money, and rather than going to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, rather than going to Medina Sharif, and rather than going to Makkah Sharif, where do they go, youngsters nowadays? Spain, very jaldi bole ho. Spain jane ji, Morocco jane ji, Antalya jane ji, agya piche, chaske lane vaste. But kismat ye na youngsters. And we talk about liberating Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa, we talk about liberating Palestine. But how many of us have actually been to them blessed lands? The land which is known as Baladul Anbiya, Arbul Anbiya, the land of the prophets. That land where the Sahaba Ikram lived and stayed as well. Hazrat Tamim Ad-Dari, Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Bilal Al-Habshi, Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Abu Ubaidah ibn Al-Jarrah, Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu, Jalil Qadr Sahaba Ikram, Hazrat Ubadah ibn Samit, Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu, Hazrat Shahzad ibn Aus, Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu. These two companions that I've just mentioned, they are resting in the Qabristan next to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Baladul Anbiya, the land of the prophets, that land where the Sahaba Ikram Baqaida lived, that land which was liberated and conquered by Sayyidina Umar Farooq Radiyallahu Ta'ala anhu. And when Sayyidina Umar Farooq in the 17th year after Hijrah, received the keys to Jerusalem, it's mentioned 40,000 companions traveled with him from Al-Madinatul Munawwara to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. So to make this safar, to make this journey, ye khud sunnat-e sahaba hai, sunnat-e anbiya hai. This is the land where the Prophet ﷺ led the prophets in the prayer. Subhanallah, subhanallah. Led the prophets in the prayer. And the greatest majlis in Kainat happened in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. The greatest majlis in Kainat, the creme de la creme of Allah Almighty's creation, they gathered in Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa on the night of Al-Isra wal-Mi'raj. All of these virtues and excellencies and fada'il and manaqib. But again, when our youngsters have a bit of coin and a bit of peas in their pocket, rather than going to the blessed lands of Al-Aqsa, where do they go? And this is a direct result of the propaganda that the media has fed into our mind. Is that when the opportunity arises, as soon as flights start going back to Palestine, we should book our tickets and we should make a visit to Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Akho, inshallah. Inshallah. So as I was saying, time mera pura ho gaya ji. Qubbatu Sakhra is not Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Masjid Qibli is not Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. These are two masajid within the complex and the sanctuary of Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. What area is classed as Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa? So it's not Al-Qubbatu Sakhra, the dome of the rock masjid. It's not Al-Masjid Al-Qibli, the great dome masjid. But rather the entire sanctuary, which is marked by the white lines there that you can see, this is Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. Akho, subhanallah. And if you haven't seen, then you're going to see it now. First point was what? That Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa was the first qibla of the believers. For how many months roughly? 17, 18 months. Second point was what? That was included in the first point. Second point, Al-Masjid al-Aqsa was the second masjid to be built on the face of the earth. How many years after the first masjid? 40 years. Number 3, third point was what? Al-Masjid al-Aqsa is the third most significant place and site in the Muslim world. And one prayer in Al-Masjid al-Aqsa in reward is equal to how many prayers? 500 prayers. We also mentioned that Al-Masjid al-Aqsa is the place where the Prophet ﷺ led the Anbiya wal Mursaleen in the Salah. We also mentioned that Al-Masjid al-Aqsa is not the Dome of the Rock Masjid. It's not Masjid al-Qibli. But as you have seen, as a young man is going around with my phone, it's the entire complex and sanctuary. This is that place where the Prophet ﷺ mentioned Al-Masjid al-Aqsa and Khaston Jerusalem. There is not a single inch in Al-Quds Sharif where a prophet has not prayed and where an angel has not stood. In regards to Al-Masjid al-Aqsa, this is that masjid, this is that blessed maqam, this is that blessed place, Muqaddas Jaga, where the crown of Khatm Nabuwwat was placed upon the blessed head of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Islam that became the seal of the Prophet symbolically on the night of Al-Isra wal Mi'raj. When he led the Anbiya wal Mursaleen, this became clear that after the Prophet ﷺ, no other messenger and prophet will come. And the Nabi Islam is Khatamun Nabiyyin. Nabi Islam is Khatamun Nabiyyin. Wa la Nabiyya ba'dahu. There is no prophet after him. So if anyone believes in any type of messenger or prophet after the Prophet ﷺ, that person is out of the folds of Islam. वो दारा इस्लाम से खारिज है.